Hello, this is Heather Hoffman, and I have a fancy, glamorous card with gold and black and white. It's just an elegant color combo that I like to use, and I recently picked up some new embellishments and was excited to try them out on a card. So I'm starting off by using a Unity background set called Windswept Petals. It's a Donna Downey background, and it's just beautiful, intricate, detailed, big enough to fill the front of a card. And I'm stamping it on a panel of cardstock, and I'm using my Mini Misty to line it up and stamp it. It's just a good way to get a nice dark impression with a big background stamp. You don't have to use that. I just love that I can stamp it again if I want to make sure that I get it as dark as I possibly can. If you don't have a Misty or a stamp positioner, just using a clear block, you should be able to stamp this stamp pretty easily. Unity red rubber stamps beautifully, and I just used some pigment ink, my favorite black ink for just solid stamping, versus some fine onyx black. It's my go-to for just a black stamped image or sentiment that I don't need to color, or if I'm watercoloring. It's good for watercoloring, not for Copics, so don't use it if you're going to use it for Copics. And then I'm going to fussy cut this image out. I'm saving the part where the petals go over the outside border to use with my smaller detail scissors, but the larger outside areas work great just to use a big pair of scissors. You can cut through a little quicker and your hand won't get as tired either. Now, something I'd always been told when I fussy cut that I never understood till I actually tried, you kind of notice that as I'm cutting, I'm turning the paper, not the scissors. I'm trying to kind of hold the scissors in one place, but it's a lot easier to get around where you want if you actually turn the paper and not the scissors. Try it out sometime when you're fussy cutting. It doesn't really make sense until you try it and see that you get a smoother line. Now, this is my new embellishment. It's Nuvo Gilding Flakes, and I'm using it with a Nuvo glue pen per the directions on the box. I think you could use any glue pen that dries in a slightly with an adhesive restickable finish. And what I'm going to do is I'm just using the glue pen. I'm not trying to fill in the leaves entirely. It's a chisel tip. If you had a finer tip, you probably could fill them in all the way. I'm trying just to use it to add a little bit of detail in the middle of the flowers. So I'm kind of starting towards the center and going out so that you get a little bit of a gold effect, but not completely filled in, so you can still see the detail of the flowers. And again, once I finish getting this glue on, I'm going to set this aside, let it dry completely, and then I'll add those gilding flakes over the top to get a gold finish. Also, once I'd finished this video, I took this panel and I added a heat emboss sentiment in the middle using the July 2016 sentiment kit. It's called Let Your Wishes Fly. It's some beautiful calligraphy sentiment sets. Now you notice on this that when I touched it with my finger, it's kind of tacky. So it's completely dry, but it is tacky. And this tub of gilding flakes comes very, very full. Don't sneeze or cough. You might have a shower of gold in your craft room. Not that that's a bad thing. Although the rest of your family might disagree depending on where you craft. So I'm just using my finger to gently press it down. I just laid some over the top, and as I'm tapping it down and then gently rubbing with my finger just to rub the excess. And I also have a big soft brush that I'm using just to kind of brush some of that extra off. If you have a little spot where it taps, you can just kind of use the tip of your finger to rub a little to smooth it off. And once you have that all brushed off, and then one more final finishing touch I did on this also after the video is I added some gold seed beads to the center of the flower. I basically put a big blob of glossy accents, which are nice and shiny and dry shiny, and then sprinkled over my gold seed beads to add a center embellishment. And you notice I carefully folded up that piece of paper. The tin of gilding flakes is so full I didn't want to try and put them back in, and used a wet wipe just to clear what was left on my desk. Thanks so much for stopping by today. I hope you'll try this technique. Have a great day.